I wanted to have a situation where every single person in the store had a goal and a ladder to one day be a franchisee and a multi-unit franchisee.
People that are in their own business as franchisees they're not hesitant to give you good feedback, to be able to continue to challenge you, to improve the company all the time.
Franchising has been a huge part of the engine of growth for this company for 50 plus years.
But I think it's from that working in the business, being a mechanic, being a small business person, that really established the baseline for how he was going to one day operate a franchise company.
He felt if he took good care of the people, they'd be happy in their job and they'd serve the customer well and the customers would come back. And so that's been our core philosophy for 87 years now, is take good care of the people, they'll take good care of the customer, and they'll return.
The best thing I ever did was join the Marine Corps. And it was the best experience I ever had in my life as far as preparing me for business. I mean, I got into the business to pay my way through architecture school, not to build a pizza chain. The idea of focusing on delivery occurred to me, and I got very excited about that because nobody was doing it, and it was very difficult to do. Only franchise to our own people, only people that managed the store successfully for at least a year, and then they could apply. And we wanted to be able to tell anybody that came to work for us as a driver, or at any entry-level position, that you can be a franchisee someday. I'm a daydreamer, and I'm always thinking of scenarios to where I want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and I think that's very important.
Well, I had a partner named Bill Carl. He and I started by opening one restaurant, hoping to build more, and hoping that one would be successful enough to do two. So he and I started 40 years ago and opened in January of '73, and was fortunate enough to be able to continue building, and from '73 till today we continue to build Golden Corrals. About 70% of our restaurants are franchised, and we evolved into the franchise model because our partners wanted more than they could achieve by being partners. They wanted to be owners. What I love about franchising is that it allows a person to be an owner. In our company, we have people that come in literally as a trainee that start in the dish room and wind up owning their own restaurants. And it's kind of the great American story that you one day own the shop.
I think Conrad would be pretty proud that we're now the biggest lodging company on earth with over 4,000 hotels. 70% of those hotels are franchise hotels. So franchising has been and is going to continue to be a huge part of the growth of the company. If you think about Conrad Hilton, he was one of the great innovators through travel and tourism, and he in the end was an innovator that was way ahead of his time, both in the hotel business but business generally, in understanding sort of that the world is a big place, but the more that as time goes on, it's going to become much more interconnected. Conrad Hilton had a very simple vision, which was to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality. If you think about Conrad Hilton, he was one of the great innovators, not just in the hotel business, but in business generally.
Franchise model is a great model, but it's not some universal single element. Every franchisor, although we all subscribe to the franchise model, they're all different, and I think we have to remember as franchisors, we have to be, we develop our company specific to our franchisees' needs. I have to say, a large measure of his success in franchising came from the fact that he was a small business person himself to begin with. He had real empathy. For franchisees, understood what they went through, morning, noon, night, the difficulty of making a payroll, of meeting regulations, of satisfying customers, advertising. And he felt that, deep in his soul. He'd be very proud to be recognized by his peers in franchising, the IFA Hall of Fame, and the franchise community at large.
My father realized early on that he was in the service business. He started as an A&W root beer franchisee, had the franchise for Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia. He had to have trained people who knew what they were doing and could take good care of the customer. We really got going in the franchise business when we developed our select service hotels, our Courtyards, our Residence Inn, our Fairfield Inns, because they were simple to operate. Now over 50% of our company is franchised, and we've done it and we've been successful at it because we spent a lot of time in selecting our franchisees to make sure they were committed to our business and that they were willing to learn and willing to take instruction and follow the standards that we set. Marriott is all about people. Marriott's all about training, it's all about working with people, it's all about giving them an opportunity. When people have asked me, what are you most proud of in your career of almost 60 years, I say the opportunity we provided for people to grow and develop. 50% of our general managers have come out of the hourly ranks. My work brings me great joy and happiness. I love to work. I think when you select a business to go into, you gotta love that business. If you don't love it and you don't love what you do, you're not gonna be successful.